because we learned about the class here. Suppose here public, we have a valid class is having some boolean true. Valid class is true. So we have invalid class. Invalid class is false. False. Like this, we are displaying some options, or both we are defined to false. Valid class false, valid class true. Now, very important is this span should use the class binding technique. So we are using ng class, and we are using an object reference here. And here we are defining txt prime, txt success. Success is a class that should apply if based on that valid class. Valid class. And another txt danger, text danger. It should apply. It should apply. It should apply. So when based on invalid class, both are actually false only. Here what we are doing is, if username is taken, then here, if username is taken, then here this dot invalid class is set to true. Invalid class is set to true. And this dot valid class is set to false. Set to false. We have to swap between them. And similarly here, this dot invalid class is set to false. And this dot valid class will be set to true. We have to swap between the values here. We are dynamically applying them. Initially, you are typing here. So we are typing here J. It is displaying the green color. So John, it shows red color. That means username taken, try another. John 1, it will be again green color. And 1, 2, it is again red color. Already we learned about class binding. We need to just pass true, false values into it. That means, is it valid or is it invalid, the class. And CSS classes you don't need to write because you are using Bootstrap. Bootstrap has ready-made color classes. You can use those classes here. We don't need to write. If you want, you can write. Right? So we can keep the appearance for the text box in red color. But observe carefully here. Instead of key up, I'm using key press now. What I told you about key press, let's observe that. When I'm using key press, I'm typing here J available, JOHN. It is still showing available. It is still showing available, but John is not available. Why it is still showing available? Because in the terms of this particular key event, key press will happen only when you finish N. That means I need to come out of that N. Then it will say taken. I use a space or something. No, it should not be like that. So we cannot depend on key press every time. We need to depend on key up immediately. Key press also required in various occasions. Where key press is required, that we will see. One example, we will see how to handle them. So, but this is very important. This is very important. So that means you cannot deal with only key up, key press every time. Depending on the situation, we have to use them. So that is the basic point, how generally we use the key event. One simple example I showed you here, an example of how to define the key up event. So we designed a component, that is add component, that is ng generate component key demo, and key demo dot component dot ts. In that we just added this logic. This is the logic. Later we can get the data from any database, right? But this logic is regularly used. Key demo dot component dot html, and in that we need to present this. In the HTML, we need to present this. Now, how to handle the other events? So, and design examples by using those events that we will see in our next session. Tomorrow we will continue with this, right? Now we can finish all the events one by one with the examples. We will see a lot of examples now. So if you know the consequences and you know the events, how to design them, I can show you some complex examples and I will give you some tasks you try. Then you will get perfection on the designing of UI part in our Angular, because it depends on a lot of events only. So majority of complex examples requires a lot of event combinations. One example I will design in the next session. Tomorrow we will see that. Then we can practice such exercises, sessions to finish and work with the events. Then we can go into component hierarchies, means inside component, another component, how to transport data from one component to another component. Then how we can use the component cycle. All these things will come related to components, right? Tomorrow we'll continue with this. It will take at least minimum 3 weeks. Now, 3 weeks. Right. So you clear with this or any doubts, anyone? So clear with all the concept. You're practicing these, right? You have any issues, then let me know about those issues. Okay, then let's meet tomorrow, right?